1 second. What's going on? Facebook Live and Periscope at the same time. Really excited to be with you guys today. So, great topic. Absolutely excited to talk about not living for the weekends and what that kind of means and how to change that employee mindset. Because when you're building any type of business, but especially in network marketing, you have to make that shift from employee mindset to an entrepreneur mindset. Otherwise, you're never going to get the traction and the success that you need, because something that Rachel says all the time that sticks in my head is that network marketing and business in general is always a mindset game. It's more of a mental game. It's more of a mental business than anything else, because it's easy to get caught up in our emotions of failure, of defeat. It's easy to get caught up in a lot of the things that I'm going to talk about today. I have notes in front of me because my brain was going crazy at literally 4 a.m. I'm so excited to talk about this with you guys. So we're going to talk about how I personally changed my employee mindset. So for some of you that don't know my story, I'm not going to get into a whole bunch of it, but I'm going to let you know who I was before network marketing. Okay. So, I want to make sure I've got like a phone and an iPad going on at the same time here. So anyway, I graduated from online college because I wasn't the type to go to college, but I got a bachelor's in accounting. I had an associate's in paralegal, and I worked for my dad for a long time. And I was in that employee mindset where I worked an hour, I got paid an hour. If I worked overtime, I got paid overtime. By the age of 25 years old, after I had, gone in and out of the club scene, bartending, and trying to figure out what it is that I wanted to do, I had my daughter at 26 years old. And from then, I started working for a third-party company in the corporate world with Amazon, and it was a third-party company for Amazon, and I helped build that company from like 3 million to 40 million. But again, I was getting paid, happy Friday, I was getting paid per hour. I was getting paid a salary. I wasn't getting paid for the building of the business. And at that time, that's when I kind of was like, okay, there's got to be something different. That's when my employee mentality first started to make a shift. I was building somebody else's dream. I was building somebody else's business. And I was kind of sick of it, to be honest with you. I was tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I was tired of getting paid per hour instead of what I knew I was worth. So that was that first kind of shift. I went from relying on a paycheck, because I had to rely on my work 1 hour, get paid 1 hour, to how can I get paid to not go to work? Like, how can I get paid for my knowledge, for my work ethic, for my leadership skills that I knew I had, for my passion, for my drive, for my excitement? Like, I had to try to figure out, like, how could I make that shift? And I had no idea. So for some people, when they have this aha moment in their life, they're like, I want to start my own business. I'm going to start selling something. I'm going to start selling a product that I created, or I'm going to create a service, maybe house cleaning. Maybe there's, I don't know, maybe you're promoting in clubs, maybe because that was something that I did. Maybe you join network marketing, right? So for me, I joined network marketing, and that was my first step into being around a support system of supportive people that had already had success in the industry, that were just looking to build some supplemental income, that all of a sudden had some serious success where they were making $100,000 a year to $200,000 a year, 300, some were even making $1 million a year in network marketing. And this caught my attention. So then I wanted to start to learn. But let's talk about first this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that I'm sure a lot of you have heard about, and maybe you haven't read, or maybe you read a little bits and pieces of it. But I want to kind of break down some key points in it, that why you need to read the whole book and why you should read it twice. Because Robert Kiyosaki talks about network marketing. If he ever had to go back and do it over, he would do network marketing. And I think that's such an amazing statement that he made, because it's so true. But he talks about 4 quadrants of the employee mindset versus the entrepreneur mindset. And there's 4 quadrants of people. And I'm not going to go through it too much because I want you to read the book, but I'm going to give you what stood out to me on it. So he talks about going from like a W-2 to a 1099. People get freaked out when they're like, 1099? no, like I want my taxes taken out for me. I want to get paid per hour. I need that W-2 every year. Let me help you shift that today, please. Because I used to have that fear and like, oh my gosh, I have to take care of my own taxes. And what if I don't make enough money to pay my bills? Like, that's just fear. Let's get you from this quadrant to this one, okay? Poor dad, rich dad, there's quadrants, okay? And you can find this on YouTube too. So he talks about there's an employee quadrant. Those are people that have values of wanting security. They want those good benefits, and they want security of knowing that there's maybe a 401k there for them, which is very rare now, but let's just pretend it's in every job that's out there, which I can pretend it's not. But anyway, there's the 401k, there's the security of retirement, kind of. We all know that that's not true anymore. But anyway, they have their taxes taken out for them, and they have benefits of insurance maybe, right? Maybe there's a bonus, a one-time bonus in December that a company gives you, $500 cash bonus, who knows? And then you get a raise maybe once every year. I know personally, I used to get a raise every 6 months, but it was like literally a 75-cent per hour raise. I think back to that and it drives me crazy. Like, I want to literally strangle myself from 10 years ago. But anyway, it's okay. We made some changes, right? So there's the employee quadrant. Then there's the small business owner quadrant. I've been there before. I've watched my dad be there. My dad's still there. I watched, other family members being small business owners. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that's a solo project where you're still working per hour. You're literally, now you have employees that you worry about. There's overhead, there's insurance, there's all that kinds of stuff going on, right? Then there's the big business quadrant where you have 500 employees or more, right? We're talking like Bill Gates. We're talking like lots of employees, that big business. And then we have the I for investor, where your money starts to work for you. And this is personally where I put network marketing. I put network marketing in the I for investing, because you're putting in an investment in the beginning under $500 most of the time to get your business started, to get the products that you need or the services or the training or whatever it is. You have that investment, and then by doing the work and making sacrifices, the money starts to work for you. And I'm going to give you examples of how this works. Okay, so here's a question I want to ask. I want you to ask yourself and ask prospects when you're out there. Why would you work hard for something you never own? Why would you work hard for something that you never own, or that you can pass down to your children or to family members, or maybe to a successor, or maybe sell it to somebody? Why would you work hard for something that will never be yours? Now, some people are okay. Their values, like I said in the very beginning, are I just want security and I want benefits and I just want to live my life that way, right? That's okay. There are some people that are like that. But if you're on this right now and you're not one of those people, you don't have the employee mindset. You have the entrepreneur mindset. But now you have to get rid of some limiting beliefs, and you have to remind yourself daily that you're not an employee. You might be temporarily, but that's not your value. That's not your mindset. You are an entrepreneur, okay? So why would you build somebody else's business? Why would you do that, okay? So here are 3 things that I personally think stop people from having success in network marketing, or even their own big business, or becoming an investor. This is what I've seen, and this is what I've seen in myself, and this is what held me back for 2.5 years. Okay, at 26 years old, I didn't have success right away. I had 2.5 years where I sat and made $500 a month. That's what I was making. I couldn't leave my full-time job to go out into the entrepreneurial world because I wasn't there mentally yet, okay? And these are things that I used to think to myself on a regular basis. 1, I don't know how to be a big business owner. I don't know how to be this big leader. Why would people follow me? Why would people listen to me? I'm broke. Why would people literally listen to what I have to say about network marketing or about business or about anything? I'm broke. Like, why would people listen to me? That was number 1. Number 2, I can't do this. I don't know anybody. I don't know enough people. I don't have enough time. I have to raise my daughter. I'm working, 50, 60 hours a week. Like, I don't have time to do this. And 3, I can't afford to start my own business or take the money, the $500 a month that I was making, and invest that back into the business. Like, I needed that money to pay my car payment, right? So these are some of the self-limiting beliefs that people have. These are the objections that we come across all the time, right? When we're out there prospecting, or I don't have the money. We always come about that. That's because we have to help them make that shift from employee mindset to entrepreneur mindset. We have to help them make that shift. So the first thing I would tell you to do is hand them Rich Dad, Poor Dad and help them find out what quadrant of values that they're really in. We have to help people sometimes make that shift. Turning the page, okay? So let's talk about how I made that move. I talked to you about when I first had that aha moment. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't just keep building other people's businesses. And if I could do it for them, why can't I do it for myself? That was my first aha moment, right? So I made the decision to start building additional income. I started making decisions, small decisions every single day. And I said, I'm going to start with $500 a month. I got to that goal. I got stuck. But I had another aha moment 2.5 years later. And I'm going to tell you what happened after that, how the compound effect comes into play in my business. So then I was like, okay, I want to make $1,000 a month. I want to make $2,000 a month. I knew that this was a journey. So I accepted, this is number 2, I accepted that this was a journey and I sacrificed my extra time after work and on the weekends to continue to invest into my business and build my business. I didn't have money to invest in it, but I had time. Time is money. Right now, you're working for every single hour, linear income. You're working for an hour, you're getting paid for an hour. I'm going to show you how the 2.5 years of not having any income has helped me made over $650,000 in network marketing. Whoa. Crazy, right? So I'm going to show you, okay? And number 3 is I watched others in the industry that were having success and I started studying them, their verbiage, their language, what events they were attending, how they spoke to prospects, how they spoke to family, relationships they had. Like I started studying those that were successful. If you want to be like Bill Gates, you better go study what he did. If you want to be like somebody in the industry, you got to go study what they do, what they did, and what they continue to do to grow, right? So here's where people fail. Here's where people make big mistakes, and this is what I did. I had fear of losing my linear income. So it was getting me stuck in building a residual income. I was so stuck on that employee mentality of, okay, well, I'm working an hour, I'm going to get paid for an hour. If I want to make more money, I have to go work overtime, get paid time and a half. I did that for a long time. I did that for 6 years, and it became exhausting, and I still couldn't get ahead. Still could not get ahead, and my shoe addiction had nothing to do with it at this point because I couldn't afford it, right? So don't let the fear of spending that extra time and the linear income just being stuck in your head. Like the value of security and benefits, you got to let go of that a little bit. You got to think bigger, okay? 2, for 2.5 years, I made $500 a month in network marketing. I probably spent about 15 or 10 hours, let's just say 10 hours a week for 2.5 years. So I did the math for you guys, right? I spent 10 hours a week, times that by 4 weeks, times 29 months. So we're looking at about 1,160 hours of me making barely any money in network marketing. So I want to show you what that would have looked like in linear income for me and how it compares to what my income is now, okay? So, and what we've made in the past 2.5 years in network marketing. So $22 an hour is what I got paid when I was working in the corporate world. Times that by 1,160 hours, that is $25,520. So $25,520 in income, in linear income that I would have got paid if I would have worked that extra time in my job. But I made passively, the passive income, the residual income of me working the 10 hours a week, I only made $14,500. So there's a difference. I took a loss, right? My first 2.5 years in network marketing, I made a whopping $14,500. Okay? That's like an extra $7,250 a year that I made in network marketing. That's not a lot because I would have made more if I would have just went and worked that time in my corporate job. But check this out. What it created was a compound effect. In 2014, I immediately became a six-figure earner. Okay? Rachel and I immediately became six-figure earners 4 months into 2014. So check this out. Now let's take that 2.5 years and put it on the 2.5 years now. If I would times out that 25,520 times 2 with the 2 years of being in network marketing now, of having the right mindset, not the employee mindset, but of having that entrepreneur mindset, if you times that out, okay, that would have been what? $50,000, $60,000 in linear income for my corporate job? Are you ready to freak out? Now, it's over $650,000 total. $650,000 total of the 4-year journey in network marketing. Was it worth the 2.5 years of only making $14,500 in 2.5 years? Abso-freaking-lutely. Because now we have an amazing organization. We have an entrepreneurial mindset. We're helping people make that shift. So here's the deal. You can work from security or you can work for freedom. Work for security or you can work for freedom. Did I sacrifice a lot? Absolutely. Did Rachel sacrifice a lot? Absolutely. Do you think it was worth it? For our investment to work for us now. Our money works for us. Right now, I am on this with you guys and my group is still growing. I have nothing to do with that. It's from the 2.5 years of making $14,500 to now making over $650,000 in network marketing. And it's possible, but you have to get out of that employee mindset that you might not make money in network marketing the way you want to for 2.5 years. And that's okay. You might not. What's the big deal? Because 2.5 years later, you could be making something more. So get out of that employee mindset, get into the entrepreneurial mindset. It's worth every moment of it. Let your business work for you. Get in the quadrant of the rich dad section and make sure that you stick to it. You're going to have 2 types of people that you come across. You're going to come across the people that tell you you're crazy, that it's not going to work, you can't do it. Why would you want to leave your amazing job where you make a whopping $50,000 a year? Maybe you make $60,000 a year, but you're working for somebody else's business. You're building somebody else's business that you can't give to your children. What is your retirement really going to look like? I can tell you from family, by looking at my family that has worked in, let's just say, the education world. My mother, for a very long time, her retirement, what she gets paid is absolutely nothing of what I get paid. And I worked less than she did. Network marketing is the answer. You have to believe in it. You have to shift that mindset and rock it, because you can absolutely have what we have. There is nothing different. I remember sitting at events like twiddling my thumbs like, oh my gosh, am I ever going to be on stage? Am I ever going to have an amazing group? Am I ever going to really have it? Is it worth all the sacrifice? And it's worth it. It's worth the sacrifice. It's just you have to get that shift moving. Shift your brain. Linear income is not the answer. If it was, our economy would not be broke. People would not be losing homes. They wouldn't be able to pay their car payments. They wouldn't be stressing about putting food on the table. Linear income is not the answer. More and more people are stepping up, building brands online, followers. They're getting paid to promote things. I mean, it's crazy. People are making shifts, and it's your turn to make that shift. Sound like a woman who wears the men's drawers in the... Oh, that's interesting. Got some great people on Periscope over here saying some awesome things. I'll block them later. Anyway, you guys rock it out this week. Do exactly what you need to do to sacrifice and build your business, because in the next 2.5 years, it'll shift for you. Just believe it and rock it. So, bye guys.